The good old days of indexing. This is test number 66. How long does it take for a page to index using different indexing methods? Let's get into it. All right. I think this is 2017, 2018 test. And it's certainly one that needs to be looked at again. But here's some different methods that were used to index. One was Linklicious. I remember that service. I wasn't a fan of it, but I remember it. The old Google Doc, your link in a Google Doc method, the Search Console fetch and render. Now today it's URL inspect and submit to indexing. Google URL submit, which is, again, same thing. Google Doc, not hyperlinked. And there's the times right there. So URL submit was less than 15 minutes. Fetch and render was less than 15 minutes. Linklicious, it was 8 days. That's better results than I got with it ever. Google Doc hyperlinked was 10 days. And then Google Doc not hyperlinked was never. So now we know today that those are all completely different. URL submit was depreciated and put into Google Search Console as part of the URL inspection tool. So the fetch and render is the URL inspection tool now. And then you do the test live version, and that fetches and renders the new code versus what's in the system stored currently. And then you hit the submit to index or request indexing button, and that replaces the URL submit. As you all know, if you're using that lately, that Google Search Console is running on a different database. It has to be running on a different database than what the search results are, because there are times when the Search Console will say your page is indexed. You go look into the SERPs, look for the URL to see that it is indexed or not, and it's not there. Or vice versa, you find it inside of the search results, but the Search Console is telling you that it's not indexed. And that is becoming more and more and more of a problem, because they're trying to tie those two databases together, and they're trying to tie some features together. And in particular, the Page Speed Insights or Core Web Vitals, and the mobile indexing or the mobile friendliness tests. They're trying to make those all so that if you use Search Console, you have the mobile friendly test, for example, and you fail it, then we'll remove you out of the SERPs. And the same with Core Web Vitals. I expected that to happen too. If it's significantly bad and your competition is significantly good, then you won't get taken out of the SERPs, but it may affect your ranking. But mobile for sure, because they're driving towards that mobile only indexing. We're going to index the mobile version of your website, right? Now, you keep saying that, and that switch over keeps getting pushed down the road, because most people are building responsive websites anyway, and everything loads in the two versions. So mobile only indexing, in my opinion, would have worked great when it was you had to use that whole .mobile, and there was no such thing as responsive web design. It was all two versions of your web page. And now it's just kind of outdated. But the mobile thing, they want all the websites to be mobile friendly. And that's really about revenue, right? So if you do a mobile-friendly website, and the majority of the internet traffic across the world is mobile-friendly or is mobile traffic, then they figure that we'll address this larger customer base by saying, hey, everyone's website should be mobile friendly, and if you're not mobile friendly, you're not going to be in our index, because we're using mobile users, and we're doing our CTR and CRO stuff to Google SERPs based on mobile users, and we only want to show them sites that they can open up inside of their mobile thing, and that will increase our value as a search engine to mobile users. Ergo, they will click more of the mobile ads. It's nothing to do with making the internet better. It's all entirely to do with the conversion rate optimization of Google and the search results. So when they plug in a broken tool like the mobile friendly test tool into Google Search Console, and then if you fail the mobile friendly test tool, Google Search Console signals to the SERP database, and that removes your ranking from for keywords across the board based off of data of mobile friendly test tool. It's not going to be helpful to webmasters at all. And it's something that I'm seeing more and more consistently, is that the mobile friendly test tool will show you a fail, and then if you had any rankings on that page, all those rankings will disappear. The page will still be indexed, but you'll lose all the rankings, and that's because of that. The technology in the mobile friendly test tool is not up to the standards of the technology that's being used today, and ergo it is causing false positives or false negatives in this case, and sending that signal to Search Console, and Search Console sending it to the SERP database, and that is messing up webmasters left and right. And at the end of the day, Google could give two shits less about that. They're not going to fix it. They'll if there are some major publishers that get caught up into that mix, and they have a significant business relationship with Google, maybe they'll address it. But for the most part, people are just going to have to bend to the whims and needs of what the limited amount of tools that they give us, Google's giving us, in regards to being up to date and working properly across the board for all websites, versus what we have, versus fixing it and making sure that everything works perfectly. They're totally fine with outliers failing as long as it works for most people, right? So keep that in mind. Keep an eye on that. In particular, the mobile friendly test. Look at it. If you have pages pop in there, check the rankings. If they're gone, figure out the mobile friendly thing, and I can. From my experience, you've correct the mobile friendly thing, and then the rankings come back like almost within 24 or 48 hours. If you ignore the mobile friendly thing, the rankings will stay gone until you fix it, and then once you fix it, they'll come back. And I've seen it time and time again. There's a lot of people say, "Oh, I've never seen that." There's not a lot of people who have actually bothered to look and check at rankings. Indexing stays. If you fail the test, it'll stay in the index. It just won't rank for anything. Check it out. Check it out on your stuff, and let me know if you see the same thing. Hit the thumbs up and thumbs down while you're here, too. Only takes 1 calorie to do it. Everyone needs to burn some calories. Burn one on us, and click the buttons. We appreciate you. Appreciate your engagement, and we'll see you in the next video.